Hey, Action Jackson. I hope this isn't scratchy like it often is. I got your email, and I guess of all the things that I read, probably people don't thank you enough for going to Vietnam. It's something I was prepared to do. My number never came up. I wouldn't have been better for going. And again, thank all of you who did go and the demons that you unfortunately brought back with you that come up sometimes. Um, so here I am on a Sunday afternoon. I'm in my office. When you work for yourself, a lot of times you work more than you should, but I have to admit that I enjoy a quiet Sunday in the office when the phone doesn't ring, when I can do some marketing. Today I'm going to try to work on a newsletter that I send out maybe 3 or 4 times a year. Retired? No, not going to be retired for a while, Jack. Getting married late in the game. And my wife works for the church, but actually has been laid off from the church for over a year. So she is good at what she does. She works for Xavier University. She teaches a course on in theology. But man, it pays nothing. It pays nothing. If she was a full professor, it would be a good gig. It did work out well for us for a while. When my daughter went to Xavier, we got about a 40% tuition cut. So that was like twice what she was making as a teacher. So she spends hours and hours. She probably makes $3 an hour with what she does, but she enjoys it. And I guess if you can find something you enjoy and get paid something for it, and don't have to make additional money, I guess that's my job, to make the money. Work for yourself. You just keep on working. I have 2 people working for me, and they want me to keep working and keep the business open. So I'd say I'm 64 this week. I'll turn 64 this week. So I'm picturing I'll be working in insurance till 70. What I need to do is quit working all the time and take one of these adventures every once in a while. So I was at a travel boat and fishing hunting show. I had a booth there with my Progressive insurance, and I got to walk around. And man, it was like being in a candy store. I mean, everything is big and huge and right in your face, and you can do it. And of course, it costs a lot of money. But it's fun to think about it and think about the self-guided adventures that we had going up into Canada. My recollection says that on one lake, and we were camped next to a bunch of people, that did they steal our oars? I just don't remember that. I know they didn't get the motor. And we caught some fish on that day that we were there, and then we kept going up farther when we ran into the McQuistions way up one year when they had guns. And what else? And we were on another lake, must have been another trip, talking about your adventure going down that river to another lake, where we were way the frick on the other side of this lake. And maybe it was where you had caught a big bass earlier on a sunny, maybe the prior day, on a sunny day. So we were, again, it always seemed like the farther you went away from where you were, there would be more fish. And in that day, it got dark and stormy, and we were heading right into the wind. And at one point in time, the motor stopped, I believe, and we were just going to gun this thing into the shore if we could see the shore. I mean, there was lightning, we could see some shadows, and there was a light that we were going towards. So there was another cabin, but we never saw it. Well, I remember we were just going to run it up under the shore, but we finally made it all the way back to the tent. That was an adventure. I think that was Camp Whack My Weenie. And we always caught enough fish to eat. And, I mean, it was tough fishing. We didn't have the electronics. We didn't have we didn't have the best equipment. And I didn't know what the heck I was doing. Drag a worm along the bottom with a willow leaf. That's all I knew how to do. But those were great adventures. Other adventures I remember. I always remember beating up at the whatever the tennis center was called, Billie Jean King, or changed to something else. I remember being in a tournament, you and I, and we played these kids that were like high school players that dressed in these nice little uniforms, and we were just slobs. I mean, we were just playing tennis. We weren't dressing up for anybody. And their parents were up on the balcony, and we'd make a mistake, and they would cheer, and that just frosted me. And I think we went on to roll those boys and win the tournament. So that was a decent adventure in itself. You're talking about the water freezing. In my business, people pipes freeze, then they blow water all over the place, and then we've got a big deal. So I don't I feel your pain secondhand. I mean, I got to pay out a bunch of claims, and the more claims I pay, then the less bonuses that I may get. And I remember in the old house on Lake Road. Once every other year, it seemed like the pipes were under the house. We had a crawl space. My dad would have to get under there with a blowtorch and try to get them loose. And we'd go to our grandmother's house, and the toilet would work, and we couldn't wash this. And so I feel for you in that regard. Sounds like you're a good dad, taking care of your family. Maybe beyond the time that you had hoped or expected, but I know that you're a good dad. My youngest is just my wife and Jean just took off for University of Illinois. It's about a 4-hour drive. She has an interview tomorrow for vet school, so that's been her dream. I guess I've never had a dream to go $200,000 in debt, but that's her dream. She is admitted into the University of Michigan State. So she's going there, but Illinois is cheaper and closer, so we're actually hoping for that or Purdue. I'm a pretty boring guy. Yeah, you look up here. Yeah, I wear a wig once in a while, a flow wig, and here's my doctor outfit that I draw out. I'm the insurance doctor on a video once in a while. I haven't done a video in a long time, and I'm not a very good typist, so I would have just replied via typing. So, my brother Doug has had, he just got his second hip replaced, or his third. The first one didn't go well. It was one of those that metal got into the blood, and it was a bad device. That was about 8 or 9 years ago. And he's had that one replaced and the other one, so he's on his third hip replacement. I had a sales manager that had a hip replaced, and he was back being a sales manager in 2 weeks. My brother Doug, since he does some heavy work at GE, I think he was more like 3+ months. So, sorry to hear about that. It probably wasn't clean living that hurt your hip. But I hope things go well. I hope you do get it done sooner or later, and it's a quick heal. Keep me posted on that, Jack. And I'm going to try an adventure up in Canada or down in Kentucky. There's a musky lake that's maybe 2.5 hours from here. May get a guide in the spring. Go with my daughter, who fished with me a couple of times, and that may be my adventure for the for the lifetime. I don't know, but good to hear from you, Jack. Again, I hope things go well. Since I am at my work often, my number is 513-871-7700. My home is 513-871-8963. And again, good talking to you, buddy, and hope things go well. Signing off, if I can see the board here.